Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon by talking about the movies, obviously the TV shows or what have you. I don't know. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, I'll be talking about it obviously, so here we are, I guess. So I'll just talk about a TV show which I haven't done in quite some time. It's like once in a blue moon I'll talk about a show at all. So it's going to be a show titled Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures, which of course, technically Disney had no involvement in this, but I thought I'd talk about it anyway during my Disney movie-a-thon because she did appear in some of their stuff, and it shows that Barbie is doing like this vlogger type thing throughout the entire episode, or should would say episodes, because there's quite a few of them, obviously. And by the way, this is the set I'm talking about here. It's one of the seasons, really. And there's multiple seasons of this, by the way. 5 seasons in total, if I recall correctly, of course. So I just thought I'd talk about this one since I got to watching this not that long ago. So I just thought I might as well talk about it, obviously. So anyway, I just thought, yes, this is something I'll talk about, obviously. And it originally appeared on Netflix, which I don't want to talk about Netflix too much, really, because they know what they did. So I never thought I was going to actually watch this show. Don't get me wrong, I did know about the fact that there was a show. I was fully aware of its existence before this video. I just didn't think I was going to actually watch this like ever because I didn't realize it did appear in physical media. So I finally discovered this, so I just thought might as well just talk about this. Obviously, I actually found this on a Walmart of all places, so I didn't think that it was going to be here. I saw some of the movies there, but that's about it. I just thought let's just review this show while I'm at it, at least one of the seasons anyway. And yes, of course, there are movies attached to this, of course, and those movies are obviously movies that Barbie Princess Adventure, along with Barbie Dreamtopia, if I'm pronouncing that right, Barbie and Chelsea, The Lost Birthday, and of course Barbie Big City and Big Dreams. And those movies, of course, came in their own set, multi-pack, and individual DVDs, just so you know. So there you go. Oh, come on, what are you trying to do? Make kids get confused about their gender and make all the boys be girly? Is that what you're trying to do here, Rogue Educator Rodan?
Hey pal, you just blowing from stupid
So
town?
anyway, of course, as always, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So here we go. Oh yeah. Of course, it's going to center around family. That's pretty much the core of this. Having each individual episode surround this kind of a thing with the young sisters and whatnot. And yes, like I was saying before, it's kind of like this web series that she would do. And she'd give like brief recap of some things. Obviously, also discovering the fact that her friends from various backgrounds will, of course, have some kind of involvement in said storyline, depending on which episode you're referring to. But yeah, that's basically the idea here, where these characters will go on these grand adventures and just have a certain thing going on with that. Of course, I'm trying to speak in the general premise of this, of course, because each episode will have a certain thing going on when it comes to this kind of a thing, and that's fine. That in itself is fine. Every individual episode we have a certain thing specifically that will revolve around maybe a certain situation, like how a certain neighbor of theirs will be rude, which yes was an actual episode where a neighbor faked being injured, and Barbie and the others will have to help him out, even though he's just coming off like really rude and everything. Yes, that was an actual episode, right? With that, of course, stuff like that in that nature that they were sent around. And also, maybe there might be somebody's birthday, maybe taking place, or maybe talk about how Barbie takes cupcakes to the next level and comes some kind of competition when it comes to a baking show. So that was that as well. And the whole idea that there could be one episode where it centers around where the family moves into a new home, they notice strange things happening. There's very specific episodes happening with certain situations. But of course, in the grand scheme of things, I just count the idea that they specifically the episodes, like in the grand scheme of things, the episodes were centered around her and her family, along with her friends, going through certain types of adventures, of course. And yes, obviously, the character Ken is not going to be left out. Obviously not. Of course, Ken will, of course, show up from time to time. Depending on the situation where they will be going through certain situations, of course. It just depends on which episode you're referring to, obviously, and which moments, of course. So it's not like he's going to be pushed to a side, like, at all. And yes, of course, just because most of the characters are female, that in itself does not mean that men are going to be pushed to a side, like, at all, obviously. And that's, of course, one of the misconceptions about this kind of a thing when you think about it. Yeah. Oh, what are you trying to say? All men are stupid? Are you trying to say that all men are useless? Are you trying to say that every woman in existence is much better?
That's just what I'd expect you to say. Dumb people are always blissfully unaware of how dumb they really are.
Okay, yes, most of the cast of characters are all women, but none of them, especially Barbie, never shamed men for being men, and that's definitely speaks for the character. I mean, like the one episode I was referring to a moment ago, yes, there was that one neighbor of theirs. Yeah, there's a thing going on with the next door neighbors are really mean, but of course, yes, there's that one male character, the one neighbors that is really rude to her and the others. But Barbie herself never once blamed men for being men. I mean, yes, there might be some bad men out there, sure, but she never blamed the entire gender of men just for or men or people who identify as men anyway to be bad just because of that. So again, that does speak to her as a character quite a bit because she never wants to assume, and that goes into the story, of course, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, of course, you might come across certain situations, and obviously, this can may be pretty difficult, sure, but you never trying to lose hope. You have to be determined to go through quite a bit. And yes, it might be pretty difficult. Life itself might be pretty crazy in its own, but with great friends and family, you could make it through. Of course. I mean, yes, obviously, yes, of course. This show is trying to dive into that kind of a thing. Obviously, yes, if women want to go into a competitive sports, they could if they want, if they wish to. Of course, there's no shame in that. Obviously. And oh, what are you trying to say, rogue educator? What thing? That men are gonna be completely useless compared to women? Is that what you say? You trying to confuse boys now?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
Okay, let me just say this real quick because I know Barbie is criticized for having some kind of body image, which of course is stupid. But I'm gonna say this real quick, alright, folks? I mean, yes, there's quite a few scenes where it shows that Barbie is in a swimsuit. Obviously, not just her, of course, but her friends as well, or maybe her relatives, of course, maybe in swimsuits for whatever reason. It just depends on which episode you be talking about. But yes, this is a thing in the show. But a lot of people get offended by this because a lot of people believe that the dolls themselves may uphold this quote unquote unrealistic standard of beauty. But mind you, a lot of people don't seem to understand that that's how this doll started from the very beginning, from the very start, wearing all kinds of swimsuits and whatnot. So the character herself was supposed to look attractive anyway from the very get go. That doesn't mean that women should look a specific way. If they want to, they of course can if they wish, obviously. But that doesn't mean they have to. Of course, having an ideal body weight should be maintained, obviously, but that doesn't mean the show or the character is trying to insult anybody, obviously. Just throw it out there. I mean, this topic really could be like its own video, obviously. I just want to bring this up because a lot of the time when it comes to Barbie, a lot of people like to bring this up, really. Anyway, that aside, I like the animation. The animation is quite good, really. The animation is very smooth. You can obviously tell that the Montel really had a lot of faith in this project. Can't blame it, really. And yes, like I was saying earlier, this appeared originally on Netflix, which I don't like them very much because they know what they did. I'll leave it at that. They know what they did, really. Anyway, because Montel used to have a deal with Nickelodeon Jr., but before they switched to Netflix for a good while, and for what it's worth, I like the animation. It's very smooth, even though it's a show, because when you're making a show, there's lots of time restraint, really. But the animation is really good. I like the animation, what they were trying to do, of course. It's nicely done. And the art style as a whole, very detailed. Oh, what are you trying to say that Girly is trying to be much better than all the boy stuff? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, what?
Just get out of here, you stupid, dumb animal!
Yes, obviously, there's plenty of movies out there that dive into complex storytelling when it comes to family, friendship, or just society as a whole, I guess you can say. And and showing relationships between people, of course, and how to deal with certain things. I mean, those complex storytelling, yes. And yes, this show isn't exactly not trying to do that really. And it doesn't have to. Not really. The story is fairly simplistic and straightforward, and that in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It really depends as how it's done. The characters themselves are pretty charming in their own way, and I did like that. The characters are trying to work together through various situations, of course, to try to make it through whatever episode we'll get to. There's even a episode where Skipper gets a forced babysitting gig. So it's Barbie who learns her little sister isn't so little anymore. There's that. Then there's the whole idea where the whole family accepts the father's character. The character father, his challenge to give up technology at least for a little while. And of course, spend a fun weekend living off the grid, so to speak. So there was that. And then the whole idea where the girls take a road trip to this musical, this festival kind of thing. But of course, when Daisy keeps finding reasons to stall along the way, which yes becomes a problematic thing. So Barbie herself has to figure out what's up with her friends, stuff like this, trying to help each other out in various ways, depending on said situation, of course. And yeah, stuff like that. Of course, want to be compassionate and try to make sure that you help each other out. Of course, no matter where you're from, you're gonna be good friends anyway. Obviously. So there was that. There's even an episode that's pretty much dedicated to the puppies. So if you're a dog lover, that's definitely gonna be up your alley. Obviously, there's even an episode with that. There's even the whole idea with the episode pretty much centered around this perfect cake kind of thing. When things go wrong for Skipper as a party planner, things get rather well complicated because there's a really perfect cake that's been baked, and Barbie is really fantastic when it comes to making cakes. But the friend pretty much messes it up and tries to fix it, but it's not coming out quite right. So yeah, that becomes a thing in that episode. So it's like various situations in which each episode would dedicate its time to. So there's that. But it's a nicely done show. Like I was saying, I like the voice acting. The voice acting is quite good. Really ever had. And the overall themes and the overall ideas is expressed fairly nicely. I do like the voice acting. You can tell this was professionally made. Even though it was a TV show, of course. I liked it. I liked it what it was trying to do. It's very charming in its own little way. Simplistic, a slice of life kind of thing, but still. I'll give this show, this season anyway, an overall rating of a 7.1 out of 10. It's a 7.1 out of 10. As always, thank you for watching, and take care. Until next time, see you.